ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I am Matt Burns, and once again, it's that Sunday, that Sunday feeling. It is the burning truth, and with me, I have got.
Hi, I'm John Bloor. You may remember me from such nonsense as The Burning Truth. No, just that. Just The Burning Truth.
Hey there, and I'm Jim Quagmire. Welcome to Midnight Q. Does this look like a Q to you?
Huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, the sideways world of Mr. James Irvine.
Good evening.
Okay, right. That's an unusual one.
Collectively also known, apparently, according to our subconsciouses, as Troy McClure and Quagmire. Make of that what you will.
Yes. Hey there, I'm Troy McClure.
Okay, right.
From such versions of The Burning Truth.
Anyway.
The one where we didn't get sued.
Pretty much. Anyway, moving on, shall we, quickly?
Yes.
JB, would you do the honours, please?
I suppose so. If I must just quickly get changed into my serious trousers, bear with me.
You will. You'll need to do it quickly because I've got some words for you.
No, I know exactly what's coming, folks. Which means I need to do this. The following broadcast will contain discussions on professional wrestling and other topics, which may contain language not suitable for younger listeners, listeners of a sensitive disposition, and other listeners. This program may also contain strobe lighting effects.
And believe me when I say this, there is on this episode there may be certain discussions of certain details that some when we point you into to a certain direction, you'll want to watch it yourself, but understand it may have harsh language there also.
The things that we're pointing you to, which you can watch in your own time and, with the relevant amount of discretion, may also contain strong language, but The Burning Truth has no control over external links.
Bingo.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
And with that out of the way, let's just jump into the usual mention of The Burning Truth. So fully supports Black Lives Matter and hashtag Speaking Out still always. And the offer is still up for both of them matters as such.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, with that being said,
with that being said, hold on. Before you start what I think you're going to start, please allow me to do a little bit of corporate ass-kissery.
Spiel.
Ass-kissery. Did you know The Burning Truth now has more social media interaction than ever before on Instagram, Twitter, possibly YouTube, and definitely Facebook as well. And on theburningtruthuk.com, which is the website, a blog. Which you can read.
Yeah, www.theburningtruthuk.com, yeah.
A blog which is updated weekly by whichever one of the three of us finds themselves nearest to an internet connection at the time. And this week it's my turn. I have written a blog which you can read. It'll only take you a couple of minutes. It'll make you giggle with a bit of luck. And it'll also, as has been proved, really annoy Matt Burns. So, double whammy as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, it won't be the first log that you've dropped this week. Oh, sorry, you meant blog. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Well, that... I dropped a floater this morning. When that gets out in the channel, it's going to be a danger to shipping. But that's not what you're referring to, is it? Listen, on theburningtruthuk.com, there is a blog. This week, it's my first turn at writing a blog for said Burning Truth blog. So, yeah, read it, if only because one particular reference point in it will annoy Matt Burns.
Yeah.
I may have made mention to several of the things I'm trying to get into things by constantly mentioning them on this show, including one that he doesn't like very much.
Pretty much. And the irony of it is the fact that we may have to even actually discuss it on this episode. Motherfucker.
What, Booker T's Room of Candles?
Yes.
Available to hire for bar mitzvahs, weddings, and social events.
They should have had a song in the background when Booker T was doing that. It should have been Careless Whisper.
Yeah. That's probably the only thing that would have made that promo even more surreally brilliant.
Cringeworthy.
Cringeworthy, yeah, definitely. In case you haven't figured out, I bet you're all just now thinking, why are we actually discussing that topic? Well, before we get to there, before we actually get on to the reason why we're discussing it, as JB pointed out in regards to the blog and his post for the weekly blogging for the Burning Truth, there isn't just that. There's also Survivor Series predictions for this year. More importantly, tonight.
Tonight, in this very ring. Wait, hang on. No, I'm not in a ring. Damn it.
And you're not. And your name's not Tony Schimmel. I mean, the fired Tony Schimmel.
No, I am not Tony Schimmel. However, I just said that. In this very broadcast studio, spare bedroom, doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
Yes. Oh, and just to add on top of that, all three of us are in different locations, just to point that out.
Oh, yes. Matt Burns in his Midlands mansion, James Irvine in his slightly smaller Midlands mansion, and me in a hovel somewhere in East Anglia.
I like how we're getting dubbed as the rich ones.
You didn't have to move house to somewhere where it was cheaper because you could no longer afford to live where you lived. I did.
Anyway.
Also, I would just like to point out, Stoke-on-Trent, where I used to live, not exactly the most expensive place in the country. A damning indictment on my finances, if nothing else. But let's move on.
Shall we? But anyway, before we get on to it, I just want to just bring up Survivor Series for a quick minute. We have got our predictions out. If you want to see what they are, jump onto it, throw out some of your own predictions if you're quick enough. And who knows? Let's find out who's going to be correct, who's going to be wrong, and good Lord, what the hell happened to NXT not being at Survivor Series this year? I'll leave it there.
Well, I haven't seen the latest episode yet, so yes, please do, because I will have to react to that on next week's show when I've seen this week's episode.
No, I just quickly brushed over the fact that NXT is not even at Survivor Series.
Oh, I see. I thought you were trying to imply they were.
No.
All of a sudden, last minute.
No, they're not in it at all.
After whooping ass and taking names and basically winning last year, you'd have thought they would be, but no.
The returning champions.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, unless, of course, turn the pre-show dual brand battle royal into a 3-brand battle royal.
Won't that just basically just change the entire pay-per-view?
Well, it would be easy because there are only 6 matches on the card,
which could then equal a tie, and no one can actually end up getting supremacy if the all
exactly, because then it will definitely be a tie if it ends up 3-3 and NXT win the battle royal. Just to ruin the whole concept of Survivor Series. Who survived? Nobody.
But yeah, and on top of that, we're not even going to glance over the fact that what it is, it's up for grabs. Anyway, basically nothing. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Also, we're just going to temporarily. I would just like to get off my chest the fact that WWE has 2 ready-made factions that could have had an original Survivor Series style match at the pay-per-view for an extra match. Okay. It doesn't fit the narrative of Raw versus SmackDown because I believe they're both on Raw. But, why could they not have had a Survivor Series elimination match between the Hurt Locker, or whatever they're called, and Retribution?
We've had that before and it's boring.
Exactly. But anyway, moving on.
Okay. See, I watch Raw.
I think that match actually happened on Raw.
What? Was it just a tag team match, or was it an actual elimination style
Elimination.
Match? No.
Anyway, moving on.
Jumping the shark much, WWE. Okay, let's move on.
But anyway, instead, this week is going to have a main topic only.
Because
topic.
Once we get going, it's going to be an hour and a half of us ranting about it, and we don't have time for anything else. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, it's we're going to be walking down memory lane at some of the best wrestling promos.
Yes. With also a side stroll down What the Fuck Avenue for some of the most weird, stupid, pointless, and what were they thinking ones.
Well, when we say best promos, we're not just talking about we're going to be breaking down into categories. Be it most funny, most serious, most huh, or also known as what the fuck.
Yeah.
Which some could say, well, wouldn't that mean that's the weirdest promos as well? No, it doesn't necessarily always mean to be a what the fuck promo. Doesn't necessarily have to be a bad promo either.
It can just be odd.
Yeah. Or bizarre.
Thought-provoking for perhaps not the reasons that the person who made it intended, or just outright, what did I just witness?
However, because we are covering this topic, it's going to negate one of the usual weekly topics.
Well, we're not going to do greatest wrestling moment or greatest fail wrestling moment because it's kind of incorporated into the promos. Yeah, we
pretty much.
It'll basically be repeating ourselves. So yeah, we don't need to do that this week. So sorry if you enjoy that little bit at the end, but it's not happening this week.
You've got it for an entire episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. Is it's not happening at the end because it's the whole thing.
Yeah, just wait until next week. We'll cover that next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've also got the non-wrestling topic, but we'll get to that. Right. Where shall we head for best wrestling promos?
Well, there's quite a lot of the usual suspects, I think. Everyone does it, do they not?
In the gut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's start where, sorry?
Let's start in the gutter and work our way up.
Oh, okay. You want to start with the weird ones or the bad ones, or?
I'm talking the really bad ones. The WTF ones.
Well, okay. All
right, we'll start with... Okay, let's go from bad to good. Let's start low and build to a high. I like that idea.
Well, yeah, it's a good start, seeing as we already mentioned the book, Booker T Room of Candles.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
It's just one of them. I like to climax a bit later on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not to mention it doesn't do you or the person in question any favours, or just yourself. It depends on what mood you're in.
Yeah.
Any favours if it happens that soon.
I just don't want to play my load within the first 10 minutes.
Basically, you want a roller coaster.
Yes.
Anyway, let's just cover some what the hell promos. Has anybody got or what the fuck promos? Has anybody got any that come to mind?
Now, are we talking what the fuck as in haha, but I can't believe they got away with that?
I'm going to put that under under what the fuck.
Yeah, basically either who greenlit this shit, or I've watched it every year repeatedly since 1988 when it was broadcast, and I still don't know what the fuck they're trying to say, kind of deal. Either's good.
Or better yet, shall we just throw out a promo and just state what category boxes they tick?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that'd work.
Has anybody got one?
I'm going to start with possibly a bad one.
Go on.
Hello, Mr. Room of Candles. You can't say that word on television.
Dear.
This was a pre-hair done by Whoopi, pre-Room of Candles, Booker T, making possibly the most elemental mistake on live television that you could possibly do. Amazingly, his career didn't die as a result of it.
Yes.
But it would have been... It would have been wrong if it did affect his career. because
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You mean far, far more wrong if it had affected his career than, say, if it had been, naming no names, an other white wrestler in his place that had done it?
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the one that he actually targeted at?
Yeah, if it had been the target of his disapproval, shall we politely call it, who had used that particular word, yeah, their career would have been over in an instant.
Which it pretty much did, didn't it?
I don't recall who the promo was aimed at. I just remember.
Hulk
I just
Hogan?
remember.
Yeah. So you just kind of set up that one there, like Hulk Hogan's. Yeah.
I've just realised what I did there. Yes, did you hear that massive, thunderous crashing noise in the background? Yeah, that was the penny dropping. I've just realised.
Yeah. That sounded more like a £2 coin dropping then, not just a penny.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, here comes the shrapnel. But anyway.
Mate, it was literally the Royal Bank of Scotland's entire output of £2 coins since they started making them.
Pretty much.
Or
But anyway, the
Bank
point
of
being
England,
is,
whoever makes them.
I think what makes it even more funny is after it's been mentioned, the slip of the tongue mistake,
Yes.
the fact that you got Stevie Ray who continues on like a trooper, not even realising what was going on. But then Booker T look at his hands and go, oh crap, what the fuck have I done?
Yeah.
And even
Sherry.
look on his face. The look on his face said it all. It was classic.
Wait, look at Sherry, and Sherry just gives him the glare to say, don't fucking look at me.
Yeah. As if to say, this is all on you, sunshine.
This is
Do
all on
not
you.
look at me.
Do not look at me.
I'm not here.
Not got to dig you out of this hole right now.
You're done and dusted. But at the same time,
You've done it. What is said cannot be unsaid. Tough
Yeah.
shit.
But at the same time, that doesn't exactly give the allowance for the person that the promo was aimed at to make, to make the statement later on, later on in
30
life.
minutes later, no.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we're not excusing that.
Even though, what do you want a little funny story in regard to this promo? The fact that he had to go to Hulk Hogan and explain what had just happened.
Because I believe at that point Hogan was in the ring.
No, Hogan didn't even know what was going on. He might have been in the ring. He got to the back and he's sitting there going, "Have you heard what's going on? Wow, what's going on?" He explains the situation to Hogan, and he's sitting there thinking to himself, "I'm gone. I'm buried. I'm buried. I'm buried. I'm buried." For then Hogan to immediately burst out laughing, and just going, "Why are you laughing?" It's like, I'm just happy, I'm just happy to join the family. Sort of implication.
Oh,
I suppose we must be grateful for small mercies that WCW didn't make Hogan say that on live television the next week. Because that would have probably caused more outrage.
no kidding,
Oh.
no kidding.
God. You could probably just imagine now, like, people's heads exploding.
Oh, what, in the 21st century, in 2020, where people aren't allowed to see nuance in anything and they just
Be
have
careful.
to be flat out 10 out of 10, not bothered or fully outraged. Yes, it literally heads would have exploded.
Be careful.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Well, anyway,
I am being careful. It's just people don't see nuance either, do they? It's either whatever, or I am mortally offended. I am writing letters to my MP level of outrage. There's no middle ground anymore. So yeah, that's what he was alluding to. It would have caused lots of heads to explode.
yeah. And there can't be anything worse than being offended. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on from that one.
Okay.
I've got one.
I just have to say before you carry on that
Yes.
sometimes as we continue through these, you will come to realise now that wrestlers really should realise too that life is a bit like oral sex. One slip of the tongue and you're in the shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, that joke was exclusively provided by, and is exclusively the sole preserve, if you're offended, of Mr. James Irvine, and not of The Burning Truth, myself or Matt Burns.
But you laughed, you're involved now, too late.
Anyway.
Oh, Midnight Q. Just like a Q to you.
Anyway, wait. I've got one for you, and it's just one that's just literally just come into my mind, and I've just thought about it because I'll never forget in WCW.
Yeah.
When Hogan was going through his NWO phase and everything, and they were bringing in the Ultimate Warrior, or the Warrior.
Yeah, for legal reasons, just Warrior.
Yeah. And then they ended up turning around and having him dub his own faction thing, the One Warrior Nation, which was just
because OWN is NWO backwards, just in case nobody got that.
Oh yeah. God, they got owned on that one.
Yeah.
Did they
and
ever?
what made it even worse is the fact that somehow Warrior ended up having some form of possession powers by possessing the disciple.
Oh God, no! Did we have to go through there?
I was on about the crazy promos where you got Hulk Hogan looking in mirrors, thinking he's seeing the Warrior, going, "Oh, I'm scared."
As far as this list and the Ultimate Warrior goes, shall we just leave it at his WrestleMania 6 promo?
Yeah,
because that probably is an entry on its own.
No, I was just covering that just for the what the fuck, but yeah.
Wait,
you're on about the legendary plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the legendary plane. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are saying is that if you were wondering what wrestling was like in the 90s, cutting a decent promo, just imagine your local gym buddy, like Meathead, literally...
I think even your gym buddy would even know the difference between some sense.
I should hope so. But
yeah,
just
you'd
imagine
hope
this,
so.
though. 90s wrestling was basically... wrestling at its best, but on crack and steroids.
It was essentially a man who has had something happen to him, be it dropped on his head or shock, either, something terrible has happened to him, and really can't think what day it is, much less where he is, much less what he's supposed to be doing, who's had a camera shoved in his face and been told, cut a promo, you're live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. No wonder Ultimate Warrior was dubbed from the parts unknown. Because he was probably that high.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Introduced when coming to the ring by Howard Finkel as now coming to the ring, having just snorted parts unknown.
From unknown.
Well, let me just tell you, the best promos for that would be Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. Put them in the same promo together, and oh my God, you've got a Coke fest.
Literally, it is an avalanche of nightmarish.
Ooh yeah, brothers.
Ooh yeah, brother.
No, no, I was just about to say that sounded like the Kool-Aid guy.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
Burns, copyright.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, moving swiftly on. Anyone got another promo we can dissect in our own unique, slightly 90s wrestling style way?
Yes, and I know JB is going to be cursing us for this.
Okay.
Because we're on about people who have taken something. All I'll say to you is WCW.
WCW, what? World Cokehead Wrestling.
This is WCW. And it was immediately after a tag match where some jobbers got absolutely got completely knocked the hell out by the Road Warriors.
A couple of people who basically, how can I put this politely? Their body type makes Leon Ruff look like Mr. Universe.
The janitor.
Yeah, literally. A couple of human pipe cleaners in blue tights.
What didn't exactly help is the fact that after that match, you sit down and think, I wonder what happened to all the jobbers? Probably because they were killed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally. The ones that they didn't kill, they just barbecued and ate, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, let's get to the promo.
Yeah, the promo is for the, I believe, at the time, upcoming NWA World Championship match between Ric Flair, the champion, and which one of the Road Warriors?
Hawk.
Yes.
Right. And what makes it even weirder is Animal starts and he's going off on one. And
but
I remember
so far so safe.
Right.
Even if slightly surreal by Road Warrior standards.
True. But then if you closed your eyes, you almost got a bit of Scott Steiner-esque voice somehow.
Really?
But and this was even before Scott Steiner was even doing promos.
Yeah, this was like early 2000s / late 90s Scott Steiner, a decade early.
I don't like how you've just said that if you close your eyes, you get a bit of Scott Steiner. It makes me want to keep my eyes wide open right now.
Yeah, especially bearing in mind what the implication of the rest of the promo is about.
It sets the tone for the rest of the promo.
Nobody wants that bit, okay?
No, all I'm saying is, wait, let's not go there yet. Let's just go sit there and think, and then all of a sudden, after he's finished, tell him, Hawk, is all you hear.
Yes.
Hawk comes in, and all he says is, Tony Schiavone, don't you look swell? To start it off. Right?
Yes.
Great way to introduce. And, sort of say thank you to the guy with the microphone.
Yeah.
And what proceeded after was Hawk to imply that people are calling the Road Warriors soft. Now, you think...
All I can say, in case anyone isn't quite following this, is had this promo occurred in around about 2009...
We haven't got to it yet. Not yet.
Oh, well.
Right. So you think, they're not, they're being called weaklings. And they're sitting there saying, and he goes, oh, no. We've all got a part that's soft, but doesn't stay soft, if you catch my drift. Immediately at that point, you think to yourself, uh-oh, where's this promo going?
Yes.
Would you kindly now, JB, think what you were going to finish?
Yeah, I was going to say, if this promo had taken place in roughly 2009 in TNA, it would happily have been sponsored by Viagra. And led to some kind of on a literal pole match, probably.
On a pole match, yeah.
Yeah.
What makes it even worse is, as it continues, you're seeing him just there talking about Ric Flair, saying he's about to get, hard on Ric Flair. And that he's going to be hard.
Are you going to have a match for a heavyweight wrestling championship, or are you going to take him down a dark alley and do illegal things?
Right. He's going to be hot. It's going to be hard all night long. And to cue Ric Flair, we all know that Ric Flair loves to do a promo where he talks about Space Mountain. And all you hear of Hawk is, after I'm done with you, Space Mountain will be closed for sure. Or the implication that he's going to be closing Ric Flair's Space Mountain. What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Burning Truth does not endorse buggery in any way.
And take into account, this was during the time when it wasn't even freaking live.
Yeah, they could have gone back and retaped that. They chose not to.
You can just imagine Hawk standing over Ric Flair in the middle of the ring, just going, "Look at this dick! Yes! And it's over you."
Right. What makes it even worse is he then turns round immediately at the end of that promo, Paul, and Paul's got to summarise.
Paul Ellering has got to try and make sense and summarise everything that's just been said.
Between both Animal and Hawk in the clearest possible way. He's like, you can see his face just go, basically, Ric Flair, you're gonna get beat up.
You're gonna get your ass handed to you, but not in the way that Hawk is implying.
What makes it even worse is, who would you want to have been in that promo? Would you want to have been Animal to go first and get it over and done with? Would you want?
Oh my God! Stop talking! Stop! Stop
making the implications. Seriously.
I'm not.
To quote Greg Wallace from MasterChef, stop touching it. Just step away.
Wait. Would you want to be Animal, where you've got your promo out done and dusted, or would you want to be Paul Ellering, where you've got to follow on from what Hawk has just stated?
You absolutely can guarantee that locker room was such a blizzard of white powder afterwards. They don't even remember cutting that promo 5 minutes after doing it.
Or would you want to have been Tony Schiavone, who had to sit there, look serious, and not crack a smile or laugh?
Well, that's fine. Tony Schiavone doesn't know how to smile, crack a laugh, or be anything but serious, so that would have been fine.
Oh my God! You could just imagine Herbert sitting there, just going, "Hot diggity! Oh, we got a fighter." Sweet Jesus.
I think what is just completely, but I can't even get the words out correctly. What dumbfounded me with this is it got recorded, it got watched, it got made to go live, which means that somebody in WCW went through.
An executive in WCW watched it and went, "Yep, that's fine to go to air."
Oh no! What makes it even worse is this was not. It's not just WCW. This was when WCW was part of the NWA.
Yes.
So it wasn't just WCW going through it. It was also the NWA, and somehow, in the infinite wisdom, we went from 2 wrestlers getting almost decapitated to Animal sit there saying he's pissed off, sounding like a future Scott, a future Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner is going to be taking, notes from Animal. To Hawk implying he's about to do something that is highly illegal.
Yeah.
He's going to show you some hard spots.
There's a whole new meaning to the Big Boss Man's entrance music. Jesus.
Oh, dear.
Right, but anyway. And what makes it even worse is, just take into account, what was that entrance music in WWE? Ooh, what a rush.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, I think they'd have been better served if they'd been given the music that was eventually given to the Big Boss Man.
What? Because they're about to save hard time.
Yeah, you'll be serving hard time.
No. Why? Why, Hawk? Why? Why did you have to be so brilliant and yet so coked up and high on life when you were cutting promos?
All I can say is he didn't cut a promo. He was just in the background. But do you think The Rock found some of whatever Hawk was on for that promo during the Survivor Series promo that Vince McMahon cut in 2001?
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, dear.
Good.
Hey,
Good.
right, let's move on to the next one, shall we?
Yeah.
Just to counteract from that. Anyone got a good one?
Well,
Oh,
it's actually yourself, actually.
Me?
Oh, hang on. Oh, no, it's not. Who went first? Who went
I'm
first?
pretty sure I went first, but
Yeah, okay, then it's Irvine.
What are we on now? I've laughed so hard that I've lost my mind.
well, I
Right.
think that one
Any
was pretty
promos?
terrible. So just any promo, and then we'll decide whether it's good, bad, or.
Okay. Now,
We've got-
everybody, this one's just shot straight into my brain as we were just talking about hard spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Stephanie McMahon was referring to Triple H's little man,
Oh,
and
good
Triple
Lord.
H decided to turn around and say, maybe it's not the little man that's so small, maybe it's the players, the field that the player is in is a little bit too big.
Basically, I believe.
Hashtag bargain bucket. Yes.
Right.
We all
Yeah.
know what he was
I
implying.
believe. If you want me to try and quote the phrase,
Yes.
even a Concorde jumbo jet would look small in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
If only Triple H had been from Wigan, he could have surmised it so much neater and so much more quickly. Hey, lad, it's like throwing sausage down a well.
Ain't see that there. It's like sausage down alleyway, that is.
Yeah.
What is it with the funny promos that somehow?
What is it with
puts
it's like how the constant punching in the balls, all the best and worst promos seem to also feature genitals. What is it with this business?
What the fuck?
It's really quite dear me.
Bizarre.
Yes.
And there's quite a lot of them. Let's just put it this way: you've got Vince McMahon and his grapefruits. You've got
What makes it- wait.
wait.
What makes it even worse is the fact that we haven't even reached up to the goddamn stages of gold dust.
Gold dust. Oh, and the less said about Mick Foley's testicular fortitude, the better. Jesus.
What else?
Gold.
Anyway,
So, to sum up, the whole wrestling industry is bollocks.
Yeah.
well, anyway, let's move on to
Yeah, I'm trying to get Irvine to come up with a promo which we can hopefully move away from talking about cock and balls just for a couple of minutes.
I literally, my head's gone. It really, no. And most of the funny but then again, let's go to, let's go to Stone Cold. After the 2002 Royal Rumble, he cut a promo. I think it was was it on SmackDown or was it on Raw?
If it was immediately after the Rumble, it was probably on Raw.
Yeah, so I think it was on Raw, and he was absolutely steaming, and he cut one of the best promos I've ever heard when he literally didn't make up a song about Jed, but it was a song about Jed.
Oh.
Do you remember the song about Jed? The damn near boy slipped and bumped his head. Oh, that promo was amazing. I just can't get that out of my head.
There is so many promos that we can discuss.
Yes.
And a lot of them, we could be here all day.
We could. There are so many great ones. Not to mention, and quite a few featuring Stone Cold as well.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
The obvious one being King of the Ring 97, obviously.
Infamous. The
Oh, in
the
316.
legendary.
Because I just kicked your ass.
If I'm not, you sit there and you thump your Bible and
You
it
talk
can
about
get
your
you in it.
Psalms.
You talk
and
about
your
your
John-
Psalms, your John 2:16s.
Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass, son.
Whooped your ass. And then he proceeded to turn around and say, anyone's on the top there, they're all on the list. And he is being the biggest villain on this promo. And I mean, he is ripping people off. He should be hated The very next night on Raw, there is Austin 316 says, "I just
Literally
whipped your ass."
every other person in the crowd has an Austin 316 sign.
And at which point you got people in the back going, "We need to take notice of this."
Somebody make a T-shirt, quick.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, is it my turn again?
Well, I think you just did. I think you just went with Austin.
Okay, well,
didn't you?
no. Well, I mentioned about Stone Cold, so I just sort of tacked on the.
All right, okay.
But we
Go on.
could. Okay, no, I was just going to
No.
mention.
Go for it. Go for yours.
As far as the What the Hell promo, does anybody not yet had therapy to try and forget it and therefore remember the brief feud between Evolution when they reformed and The Shield?
Oh God.
That never happened.
And the infamous nonsense promo between Triple H where he tried to get excited about saying the phrase, "You want a rematch for something you already won?" Like, where logic royally died.
Oh dear.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you want a rematch for a match you already won? Sure, we'll lose again. I mean, we'll kick your ass this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. For someone who put as much time, and trust me, some of them lasted weeks, and as much effort into his promos as Triple H did, how did he not see that was just pure hot garbage?
We all make a slip up now and again. But anyway.
Yeah.
I remember that one. But anyway,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go down a different different way now.
Well, are we going to be positive for once? Because we are lacking that a bit so far.
This is a serious promo.
A serious one. Oh, they're always fun when they work.
Oh no. This one is, when I say very serious, it was one that when it came around, right?
Yeah.
The company in question, and the owner and booker was so glad, keep that camera on him now. At that moment.
Okay. Does this also feature Stone Cold?
It doesn't.
Ah, because I thought you were referring to his pre-Stone Cold appearance in ECW for a second there.
However, you are on about the right company.
Well, if there's one thing ECW was famous for over and above needless chair shots, it is quite a lot of the best promos in wrestling happened there.
Yeah, and for me, this is Cactus Jack in ECW.
Oh, yes.
A.K.A. McFoley. And this is the infamous Kane Dewey promo.
Yes.
If anybody remembers this. Where he's literally going through, he even did, you also got his I'm hardcore promo. You got that.
Yeah.
But then you've also got the promo where he sits down and as he's talking about, the fans getting behind him and everything. But then he says they went too far. They then did a sign mentioning his son. How dare they? In his mind, how dare they even mention his son's name? That's going too far. And it just screams out, oh. This has screamed out to us that if people didn't take Mick Foley or Cactus Jack seriously then, they better do now.
Yeah.
And what is so interesting is, he was a bit of a goofball in ECW at times, and he had his laughs, and he mentioned about, being linked with Uncle Eric and everything.
Yeah.
But when he cuts a promo where he's saying you've pushed that envelope too far. You just gone that little bit too much. No more. And it's just brilliant. It's one I'd recommend. If anyone wants to talk serious, check out that promo.
Absolutely. I quite agree.
Irvine,
Hello.
would you like to follow up?
Yeah, I think obviously anything post 9/11, quite a lot of serious promos after that, and then you've also got after the passing away of Eddie Guerrero, there were a lot of promos around them times, lots of serious.
Yes.
I don't particularly want to pinpoint any because they were all really good and really touching and, you know.
And thoroughly heartfelt, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, they are some of the best promos that I've seen. So,
Somewhere
in a serious sense.
Somewhere in a box, I still have VHS copies that I recorded from Sky Sports of the Raw and SmackDown tribute shows to Eddie Guerrero and all of them. The only problem is I haven't had a VHS player for about 8 years.
Oh, damn,
One day I will find a way to get them conferred and put them on a DVD so I can keep
Oddly
them.
enough, I've actually got a VHS player.
Ah.
May have to send it down to you.
May have to bring them with me next time I'm up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, when we haven't got a certain situation ongoing. But anyway,
I was saying when I'm next in your neck of the woods, I was going to add the subtext, whatever year that may be in, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Serious promos. Can I mention a certain recent returnee to NXT?
It covers promos. It's promos.
Yeah, a certain recent returnee to NXT and, current NXT champion who basically, one sentence, I don't watch this business. This business watches me. Bang. Doesn't need to say anything else.
Yeah.
Highlights that he means business, that, him coming back to NXT is not some sort of stunt or publicity stunt or short-term thing, and he's back to basically do everything he's done since.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, he's also been teasing some additional stuff. But as what he's been teasing, that'll be next week, probably.
Yeah.
If we get a chance to cover it. But anyway, yeah, it's a good promo. Definitely.
Just as an aside, by the way, while it's my turn, it's not a promo. It's just an aside in a match.
Yeah.
But
it is.
This next thing I'm going to say is just an aside in a match. But Keith Lee, Epic Talker,
Yeah.
possibly moment of the NXT takeover during his match with Adam Cole was when he stopped mid whatever he was doing, looked directly down the camera, put on his best Ivan Drago voice and said, "I must break him," and then carried on.
Yeah.
Promo in the middle of a match. It was just, I thought it was genius. Please use the Burning Truth social media and get in touch if you disagree or didn't even notice, or if you agree. Either way.
Yeah.
But, just one of those little things that just goes to show why he's such a good promo guy, because he just...
It's the small details.
Yes.
Small details. But anyway, I am going to have to go back to the funny stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
And one name that comes up to mind, well, technically, he's been under two names. And the second I mention both their names, you're going to know why. Sid Justice / Sid Vicious.
Oh, right. You mean unintentionally funny. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Unintentionally funny. The question is which way do we even go with this? Because any promos that have Sid Vicious in, yes, some of his promos have been good ways sitting there going, "And I am the master and ruler.
Because I alone rule the world." Yeah, sorry, Sid, what's that got to do with the wrestling match? Never mind, it's a great promo. Just
Don't
get the
hurt
tape
me.
sent off.
It's like, I bet you whenever he cut a good promo, it was like, no more takes, no more retakes, just get it off, go,
Send
go.
the tape off quick before he does something else inferior and forces us to use that.
Yeah, but then at the same time, everyone's just now thinking to themselves, what are you on about if you don't know? If you don't know, then what rock have you been sleeping under? Because there's two promos that come to my mind, or almost three. There's the infamous ways in, I believe, there's one in WCW, and there's one when he was in WWE, formerly known as WF. The WF one is the one where he sits there, he's being spoken to by JR, and literally saying, what do you have to say about the skeptics and the doubters? And without even, you sit there and think, he's not going to miss a beat. It's dead easy, it's simple. He somehow flubbed his lines live on air, and then turns to JR and just goes, can we go again? For JR immediately go, sorry pal, we're live. For Sid just go, oh crap.
Yeah.
Realize and just go, if there's any doubters, basically saying, implying he'll destroy any doubters. If there's any doubt, they'll get what's coming to them. But then JR immediately, ultimately, completely bury him with the infamous line of, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sid Vicious, man, a few words. Right?
Should be fewer words.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then you have the one where in WCW, you've got.
Is this the one that I actually thought was attributed to Scott Steiner, but isn't?
Oh, good lord! It must have been, and I don't know because whatever that Halley thought at the time. What makes it even worse is he thought it was going well, and that people were laughing. Why they're laughing and everything. You know how serious it is when you've got Kevin Nash and Scott Hall corpsing in the ring, laughing out hysterical, while Kevin Nash is wearing a sort of implied mask that's meant to look like a really botched version of Sid Vicious, right? And the line is, Kevin Nash, you're half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
Yeah. We all know what he thought he was trying to say.
Wait. It didn't finish there, though. That's what makes it even worse. You'd think if he stopped there, that's it.
The damage has been done, but maybe it can be fixed if he stops there. But no.
No.
He's digging a hole. He can't stop until he can see kangaroos.
He's already dug himself the hole and he's about to bury himself in it. Week after week, you make me look like a jackass. Week after week, you try and make me look like a jackass. And at that point, everyone's like, nope, you just done that yourself.
Yeah.
And at this point, you've got to sit there and just bask in what has just transpired. The crowd are laughing their heads off. And there's Sid continuing on like as if it's a good promo. I'm happy with my promo. I wonder how he felt when he got to the back and he's like, that was really dumb.
And he saw the faces of anyone he encountered.
Yeah.
And doubt may have possibly started to creep in. Just slightly.
Yeah. Oh, dear. God bless the curly-haired warrior.
Maybe that's why he decided to go with the, I am the master and ruler of the world. Promos. Just to keep it simple.
Oh,
Sid was basically the prototype for early Batista, wasn't he? That's why they only had Batista have one-sentence promos. Because they just didn't want him to run the risk of basically making a tit of himself by saying more than one sentence at a time.
His promos, but technically weren't really promos, especially when it's like he had to choose between which championship that he wanted to go for. So they just said, give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's how terrible you are.
Yeah. No, that wasn't actually bad because it's kind of fitted in with his gimmick, but and the whole evolution thing. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, we don't trust you to talk. Use hand gestures.
And to be honest with you, take into account how he ended up leaving WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quit. More than once.
Dear.
Yeah.
I quit.
No. There's the infamous one where he has a match against John Cena and he's all bandaged up and saying, "Don't you laugh at me. That's it. I quit. And you sit there and think, somebody will stop him from going. No one's stopping him from going.
Yeah.
But it's just left. To then come back as part of that whole, that bring back Evolution to go.
The relaunch and royally piss from a great height all over the legacy of Evolution.
Yeah, and then, it's like, we're all back, yeah! How about? He basically, Duncan Valentine, Triple H.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah, pretty much. Batista, what a legend.
Oh, definitely.
Just not in the promo department.
And yeah, he does films great.
Yeah. Have you got any more, Mr. Irvine?
I have, yeah.
Good.
And obviously it's Chris Jericho.
Oh.
Yeah. We just know that there are lots of good promos that Chris Jericho cut. And
I know which one you're going to go with.
Number 684. Armbar.
How did you know I was going to go for that? Oh, God. Yes, his tear into Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
With an armbar.
What was it?
A man of 1,004 holds.
That was it. A
No,
man
no,
of 1,000.
No, a man of 1,000 holds, and he was the man of 1,000.
The man of 1,004 holds. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
It was not 1,001. He's not one better. He's four better.
Yeah, he's four better.
Number 273. Armbar.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be back from this break. 556. Le Maestro.
57. Three-handled family credenza. 558. Armbar.
And the list, the paper that he had was.
Oh yeah, the 90s printer paper that was all joined together. That was just scattered across the ring like a large trail of lumpy confetti.
Oh yeah, good old Chris Jericho back in his WCW days.
Although to be honest, I also quite liked a promo where he didn't say so much as do something. When he was basically allowed to take all his frustrations with the WCW glass ceiling out on air. Oh. And just went out with a chair and just smashed everything up, shouting, "I'm had it with this shit, I quit!"
Pretty much.
We're all sitting there going, damn!
Yeah. Congratulations, Chris. On live television, you are voicing the thoughts of most of the roster.
And then you've also got his feud against Goldberg. Which ironically, ladies and gentlemen, on the show, right, he was supposedly getting win after win, and then Goldberg got the win. Bit of a different story in the backstage locker room.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah. Remind us of what happened to good old Mr. Strong Goldberg.
Good old Bill.
Goldberg proceeded to pretty much say he had what is Chris Jericho's issue and why so much hate. If he doesn't pretty much behave himself, he's going to put him in his place. So then Chris Jericho turned around and said, "You'll do what now?" And pretty much slapped the taste out of his mouth.
Yes.
Exactly. This is the thing when you've got Chris Jericho. He may not look a lot to people other wrestlers that are bigger built than he is.
You know, he's not built like The Undertaker, let's say, or Mark Henry, but he can defend himself.
Oh, yes.
Although, bearing in mind, he's not the worst one to come off a big guy trying to pick on a little guy and get you in flawed situation.
No, he's not. He is not, is he, JBL?
No. Or
Hello,
no,
Mr.
it's
6'7", 290-pound tough guy JBL. Did you just get floored with one punch by 5'4" commentator Joey Styles? Oh, yes, you did. Is that your tough guy reputation dead? Oh my God!
Pretty much.
Yep. That'll teach you to be a bullying prick.
Or we could go with hello, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Hi, Brock Lesnar.
Who did?
You did what to Randy Orton in the ring?
Bloodied him up.
Let me assure you that I'm not letting you get away with it.
Yeah, pretty much. How many people can actually say on paper that they actually stood up to Bill Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar in the same lifetime?
And came out unscathed.
You're dragging this back to Chris Jericho, I take it.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And there's
Fair
also
play to the guy.
And there's also the fact that Booker T also taught Batista a lesson, but we'll not go any further on that situation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right there. Right. Let's try and drag it back to promos if we can.
Yes, let's do
Because
that.
we've got this far into a discussion about best, worst, and weirdest wrestling promos, and we haven't yet said the two words which are basically the byword for good promos in wrestling ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and those two words, of course, being the and rock.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you haven't just got The Rock. You haven't just got The Rock.
Well, no, basically, he was lucky enough to have quite a few of the rest of the roster to bounce his promos off. Yeah, there was Stone Cold, Chris Jericho, Triple H, all those guys at that time as well. But
oh yeah,
I will fight you if you say he wasn't the absolute best.
Not all, not all of them. Like, you know, obviously Billy Gunn wasn't very good at promos.
No.
I think he just got buried.
And he just got buried by a promo.
Yes.
That pretty much just went from, oh, you won King of the Ring, which has been a competition that normally headlines our next world champion. That didn't happen after this promo.
Yeah.
He got buried by The Rock, everybody.
He did, yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, he ended up getting buried into someone's rear end.
Yeah.
Hang on. The ultimate irony here. The man who for much of his career was referred to as Mr. Ass ended up shoved up someone's?
Yep,
Oh,
pretty
the
much.
irony.
Yeah. The irony.
Our favourite neighbourhood. Would it be Rikishi?
No, it wasn't. It was actually.
Or did he have to
someone
join
else.
Mr. McMahon's favourite club?
No, it wasn't. It was actually somebody else. It was random. It was actually part of a match that ended up being the Kiss My Ass match, which involves somebody else.
Oh, yes. I remember now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
You're welcome. Anyway.
But anyway, we haven't talked about The Rock yet. The Rock is the king of promos.
I would say The Rock is the king of quips. I wouldn't say he's the king of promos. I'd say he's the king of quips.
Yeah, king of put downs, banter.
Because,
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
His
fair
banter.
enough.
No,
But I
no
would say
banter.
my old still, to this day, I'm going to put the flag in the ground right here. We're rapidly approaching the 20th anniversary of this promo, and it's still the one that, trust me, ask Matt Burns, ask Chris Irvine, I can still recite word for word as possibly the best promo ever done by Mr. D. Johnson, aka The Rock, at the Royal Rumble 2001.
You really can.
Yeah, he really can. He really, really can.
Possibly one of the top 5 best promos by anyone in wrestling ever.
It was a good one, especially for it being the Royal Rumble, and it was just quick fire, boom, 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 boom. Great way
Yes.
to cause that hype.
But
And he didn't have to mention the Hamburglar and Grimace.
Yes, but he went on to mention a big red nipple.
Yeah.
but also, he's not the only wrestler from the Attitude Era to cut an extremely good promo before a Royal Rumble.
He is not. You are correct.
We have got Austin yet again with his throwing every jackass over the top rope and another.
And another.
Hang on, was that before or after The Rock, who in that 2001 promo referred to body after body, getting their monkey asses kicked right over that top rope?
I
that-
think that's all.
I'm not sure which one inspired the other, you
I
know?
think the Rock one was first.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly. But anyway, let's...
But anyway, yeah, that's just someone... See, that's the brilliance of the Attitude Era and promos. It was like, if The Rocks came first, Stone Cold saw that and went, yeah, anything you can do, I can do better, pal.
I got
And then-
somebody.
Before that, they end up doing one together, which turned out to be one of the best promos before WrestleMania. So, you know.
Yes.
Oh, the infamous where it looks like they're trying to be friendly, they're saying, but The Rock never forgives. Rock
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, that's the one. You know, where they kept stealing the microphone out of each other's hands.
Yes. Well, that was basically the lightning in a bottle period, wasn't it? Because there's always been a guy that can do promos like that. You know, be it Roddy Piper, be it Hulk Hogan, be it Ric Flair. But that was the first time there were two who could literally match each other word for word at the same time.
I may have
Yeah.
to...
That's what made it so awesome.
I'm going to put you on a halt there. I may have to pretty much bitch slap JB for missing somebody off that list.
It was not by any means intended to be an exhaustive list. It was just 3 names that came to my head. But go on, who did I miss?
You missed somebody who's got an iconic promo that, to this day, still stands the test of time.
Oh, do you mean someone who I might have missed because it doesn't match the style of everyone else's?
It doesn't exactly match the style, you know.
Are you referring
if you
to
will.
a certain Mr. Roberts?
No, if you will.
Ah, yes. I, of course, am referring to Jake the Snake Roberts, who is also one of the best promo people of all time.
Oh,
but
Great
Matt
mind.
Burns is referring to the American Dream himself.
Dusty Rhodes.
Yes.
Simply because, I will say, some of the stuff that WWE gave to him was literally, you know,
Bottom
the shit.
drawer, pound shop, drizzling shit, hot garbage. But he still made it work.
He still
And
tried to make...
literally, when we were talking about like shit, we are we're talking about the real. Can I say the first shitty one, or are you going to say it, Mr. Burns?
I'll let you say it, please. Just put it out of the misery.
I received a YouTube link from Mr. Burns himself the other day
Excellent.
of Dusty Rhodes in a segment where he had to play a plumber, and when he was playing said plumber, he had to go into a dirty toilet. And yes, I am literally talking about the toilet because you can see what is inside the toilet. We are talking about one of JB's logs.
What makes it even worse is the fact
Are we talking about #danger to shipping here, folks?
Oh yeah.
What makes it even worse is, do you come up with, you know, is it a ring-a-ringing? Is it ding-a-dinging? What the fuck? Right? And then he somehow, after he's just done all that, magically pulls out that bog's toilet without getting any mess anywhere. Seriously, if he's that good of a plumber, you're in the wrong business.
Absolutely.
right?
Was it
Pull
by
out,
some? Go
pull
on.
pull this toilet out, gets this new one in, and as you click on this button to flush the toilet, it goes ding ding, fucking hell, right?
Wow.
And that's one of the worst ones he had to put out in, but he managed to put his own spin on, make it absolutely hilarious, but it made absolutely no fucking sense. Made
Oh
no
wow.
sense.
It made no sense.
No
Yeah.
sense. No sense. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
Where's my
sense.
monster? Where's my monster? Right. And bear in mind, this is after he has coined his infamous, legendary promo, which is simply dubbed as Hard Times.
Yes. And again, we're not talking about the Big Boss Man's entrance music.
No.
And we're also not talking about Hulk's desire to
Violate Ric Flair either, no.
And we're not about Hulk trying to close down Space Mountain permanently. Anyway,
Yes.
this
Dusty
is
Rhodes.
where, and the weird thing about it is, the irony of what we just said just is, who's the promo aimed at?
Hang on, this is the 1980s and it's Dusty Rhodes. So my guess is we may possibly be coming back around on a circle here. Does this also involve Space Mountain?
Yes, it does. Ric
Yes.
Flair.
Hmm.
But it was done in such a magical way, and this is where Dusty is. You know, he wasn't one of the biggest people. You know, he wasn't like an Adonis. You know, he may be a little bit big, maybe a little bit round, and everything. He made you think. And as much as I know WWE turned around and said, had the entrance song, he's the common man, Dusty Rhodes made you connect with him because he did come across as if he was the hard-working man.
He just looked a lot more as well like an ordinary guy.
Yeah, just like
He didn't-
Big Daddy.
Look like one of your typical 80s WWF. Oh, I've spent 20 hours a day in a gym and my blood is 80% steroids kind of guy.
Yeah,
He just
it was
looked like a slightly fat
it
bloke
was
who
like-
you could
It was
identify
like
with.
the wrestlers of old, like Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy. You know, just
Yeah.
they were big dudes. You know, they didn't care. At the end of the day, they put on a good show and they cut good promos. So
Yes.
And it
exactly.
why
wasn't
would you care about how they looked?
It wasn't just that. The guy could actually wrestle, and the weird thing about it is he put that much of an investment in his promo where you sit there and you're watching it, and after watching that promo, I remember watching it for the first time and I was sitting there thinking to myself, I need to see this match. No,
Yeah.
not next week, not next month.
Not a week's
Now.
time when it comes on pay-per-view or whatever. Like, right now. Like, inject it directly into my visual cortex. I need it now.
You almost said veins then, and I know you did, and I would have accepted it. It would have been fine. But anyway, the point being is the fact of that's how powerful a promo can be.
Yes.
You know, now I know a lot of you are probably sitting there thinking, right now is, but you haven't said my promo. You haven't said my promo.
You haven't said the one that I love. Yeah, that's what the social media's for.
And the scary thing about it is, this may not be the only time we cover this subject because
No, because if we get as much of a feedback from the social media as we're expecting to, we definitely will have to do a part 2 for all the ones we forgot.
Definitely. But just in case, anyone, would you like to point out some honourable mentions just off the bat?
Oh, honourable
straight away?
mentions. I can't believe we've got this far in a discussion about promos. How you doing, Colt Cabana? And we haven't mentioned a certain guy.
Yeah,
Hashtag pipe bomb.
pretty much. And one that's actually even surprised me that we haven't even mentioned is the fact that we haven't even discussed the man who even managed to coin this line from the film They Live. We came here to chew bubblegum and kick
Kick
ass.
ass and chew bubblegum.
Actually, it's actually chew bubblegum and kick ass, and he's all out of gum. He actually uses it the other way around. A lot of people mistake it because
A lot of people get that wrong. Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like a Mandela effect a little bit.
Yeah.
We
The
talked
same man
about Barry
who's like,
Piper.
What was that?
We're talking about Rowdy Piper.
Rowdy Roddy
That
Piper.
we are. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Just
And
when you
hit-
thought you had the answers, I changed the questions.
Bingo. The exact promo I was just about to mention. Exactly. The fact that, the infamous promo we even had with, Jimmy Snooker.
Yes.
The infamous coconut promo. Yes, it was. It could be now considered being poor taste. But, by God.
It's stuck in your memory.
It's
Yeah,
stuck
absolutely.
in your memory.
So,
you
yeah, Roddy
knew,
Piper.
you knew how he could get you. He was one person who, as much as a lot of people can sit there and saying, well, he was never world champion, anybody who went up against him became top talent simply just from him speaking words.
Yeah. The matches were all good, but they were almost irrelevant. They weren't, of course. They were all good and they were what helped elevate the guys, but the matches were almost irrelevant. It was the promos that you pretty much liked Roddy Piper for.
He put butts in seats with
He was great.
just using a microphone.
CM Punk, of course, I have to mention again. He was epic at what he did.
Any of them that you'd like to mention, Irvine?
Nah.
I would just like to also point out, by the way, there are more than their fair share. Are there none in what you watch AEW? Do you not, Irvine?
There's just, to be honest, the only one I can think of from AEW that was really good was Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
it's the only one I can think of from AEW because there's not been that. It hasn't had enough time.
I just wanted to ask, purely on the basis that one of the reasons that he left WWE was frustration at the fact that he was getting fed these manufactured lines.
yeah.
Has the artist formerly known as Dean Ambrose cut any decent promos now he's been left to himself?
He has. Yeah,
but
no, I'll agree.
Nothing sticks out. Nothing that sticks out, but they have been good.
Are you saying
No.
plenty of good ones, but no instantly going to stick in the memory for the rest of your life kind of great ones?
Yeah, except for the Cody Rhodes one, which, was on par with Dusty.
Yeah, no, let me just pause you there for a second and go back to Moxley.
Again.
Back to Moxley. Apologies for that. With Moxley, the only thing that stands out to me was when he and I couldn't believe how casually he slipped completely into the promo and showing no reaction to it and showing how serious he was about wrestling. The fact that he even announced that he is going to be a father.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good way of going about it.
definitely.
Just completely slips it completely into the promo. But anyway, I will now cordially invite you to go back to Irvine in his statement in regards to Cody Rhodes. We'll let him have his stay. Would you please?
Sorry, yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, well, Cody Rhodes is like, ever since the WWE fed him that pile of shit where he had to be
Stardust.
Dustin Rhodes' sidekick Stardust. Oh my God, what the fuck, WWE? He was doing so much better in WWE when he was, when he was actually doing his whole broken face gimmick. They should have just left him there with that and let him work with it because it would have been really good. But then he goes to AEW, and during the first year of AEW, he cuts this magnificent promo, absolutely fantastic, and that is why AEW is so highly rated amongst the new talent and older talent, because they are given that creative freedom to say and do as they want.
Yes.
Watch an interview with Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. Just watch the interview with him saying how much freedom he has gotten. They can practically do whatever they want. He said, obviously, Tony Khan, he does come to you with suggestions, but his door's always open for you to pitch ideas to, whereas Vince McMahon, it was always hard to find him. FTW. It is FTW, isn't it?
Taz?
Do you mean FTR?
FTR, sorry. Yeah, FTR.
The artist formerly known as The Revival. Yeah.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Revival. So you got them. They go to AEW because they were given nothing at WWE, and they could barely ever find Vince McMahon, and they'd be standing outside of his door for God knows how many hours, just try and pitch an idea. And if they did get hold of him, he'd always turn around and say no. And now they've gone to AEW. They are actually one of the best tag teams, which we knew anyway.
But now they're the total package because they're actually allowed to talk as well as fight. And so you get everything, not just, oh, here's some matches and some heavily scripted words that sound like all the other guys say.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like,
but
it's mind-blowing because I actually get to see them, their creative part as well that they have during the match, during any match that they have, like the one that they had with the Young Bucks. I don't rate the Young Bucks because I just think they're overhyped. I really do.
I agree. I've got to be honest. I can see why people like them, but they're not for me.
Yeah, they're not for me. They're not everyone's cup of tea. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, you go to FTR, and it's just like they are the total package because they've got so much creative freedom, and it shows during the matches and during the promos.
Yeah, and as an ally to that, this is why I love NXT, because Triple H, who, don't forget, came up in the Attitude Era when he was basically allowed to say and do whatever he wanted, understands that. And this is why I love watching people like Keith Lee, people like Adam Cole, people like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, who you just know if they were trying to come up through the ranks from the bottom on Raw or SmackDown, would be given lines that make them sound the same as all the other wrestlers. They wouldn't get anywhere because the crowd would have no reason to invest in them because they'd just be another guy in tights punching someone in the face. And I think half the reason they're as successful as they are, like the AEW guys, is because they're allowed to actually, be themselves and show their personality.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of the wrestlers, what people don't understand is in the WWE, you may be frustrated with the wrestlers, but you can't be frustrated with the wrestlers because it's not them that are creating these showered skit show. It's actually the creative team round the back, or should I say, therefore, lack of creative team. So, it's just, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Top talent without,
absolutely,
without the creative freedom.
One hand tied behind their back. Yeah, I know. It's not great, but yeah. But I agree. So I think more talent should be allowed. They should be more flexible in main roster WWE. It should be like, do you want your promos written for you, or would you like a helping hand with, a ghost outline of the bullet points of what you need to say? Would you like us to write the whole thing for you, or would you like to have a go at doing it yourself?
Yeah, exactly. And
which is kind of what it's like in NXT, because you do get the distinct. There's a couple of the guys who, I've got to be honest, before he got into his stride and literally got strapped on a rocket to the moon, very early Cameron Grimes, you could obviously tell that he was not maybe sure about his character, and Triple H might have been helping him along by giving him the pointer of what to say, and he was a bit wooden. But the fact is, he's taken the character, he's run with it, and now it's his own, and it's fantastic. And I don't think he even needs help anymore. So WWE basically need to know, when to step in and get the help and when to step away and go, that is a fully formed character. We can trust them to do their own thing from now on.
And this is where AEW does suffer a little bit because obviously with all that creative freedom, there's also the things that really don't work.
Oh, a lot more of those get to air because it's a case of they're far more open and it's, give it a try.
Yeah, exactly.
It is an argument for the way the main roster of WWE does things. It's like that happens less, I agree. But the thing is, it also creates the kind of boring crap whereby you absolutely have to really focus and really concentrate and really believe to hear the difference between Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens, who couldn't be more different character-wise, but the words they're saying are just so anodyne.
Yeah, it's all generic, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And the other thing about today is a good point of that is the fact that you just mentioned Roman Reigns. So just look back when he was doing these face promos years ago, when he did the Suffering Succotash promo.
Oh, Jesus.
That was
you
so
could absolutely
bad.
tell that was awful, that none of that was his idea.
You could
and
tell.
he was basically told, just shut up and do it. And
Pretty
as a
much.
result, he didn't believe in it. His delivery sucked. And, well,
And
it's
the
no
fact
wonder
that-
it's in the list of worst promos on the internet for most people.
And the fact that he's then, straight after he's done, he's winking at the camera. But then compare it to the promos he's cutting now. And I know
they've
Irvine, Irvine might not like Roman, but, me and Irvine actually had this discussion off the air where we both where even Irvine openly admitted himself, didn't you, that he is playing that heel role damn near perfect.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not a fan of his character, but goddamn, since they gave him a bit more creative freedom, he is, I've warmed to him a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. And my problem is that I would hate Roman Reigns a lot less if about 4 to 5 years ago they would have turned him heel and given him that creative freedom.
Or
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
give him the creative freedom.
And no, I think even as a face, it doesn't work as a face.
They were trying to take the make him into the next John Cena principle when they really didn't need to. He needed a character refresh since before Ambrose left, and they just wouldn't give it to him. And for some reason, they gave it to Seth Rollins instead, and we all know how well that worked.
Well, take into account when the whole team was coming down and everything. Do you know who I thought was most likely to turn?
Who?
Who's now known as Moxley?
Yeah, and he of all the things with the Shield, he was the one that never did. I seem to recall.
No, he did turn.
Well, no, I mean, as a whole, the Shield fluctuated between face and heel, and he went with that. But did he actually turn on his own as part of the Shield? No, Reigns and Rollins stabbed each other in the back and caused the Shield to keep breaking up. But Moxley never did it, did he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was right near the end. It was the night that Roman ended up having to give up the Universal title after he just won it off Brock.
All right, no, I remember. It was the WWE Hail Mary of, shit, let's give it to him and hopefully he won't leave. But it was too little too late by then.
No, but then he couldn't leave. So then it was, I believe, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and Dean ultimately turned on Seth, declaring, you did it first to me, and then turned around and started dissing people, saying how unclean they were and how vile they were. You're nothing but garbage people, if you remember. Because you remember, he used to wear that gas mask thing.
I think I tuned out of the main roster by then, but I'll take your word for it.
No, believe me. Believe me when I say this. This was when Moxley...
No, I believe you.
This is when Moxley was at his most frustrated, because they were feeding him spiel after spiel after spiel. And then as soon as he finished with them, and literally finished with WWE, he went straight over to AEW, and he was cutting scathing promo after scathing promo on the legit, straight shooting at them.
Yeah, venting his frustration.
Yeah,
I get that.
but anyway, I believe that's going to be a bit of a
we've literally talked for ages about this, so we know we're not going to do the great wrestling or epic wrestling moment or epic wrestling fail this week, but I think the non-wrestling topic is a bit of a doozy, so we're going to have to give that airtime next week as well, aren't we?
I'm going to say with the non-wrestling subject that we originally had, which I'll actually mention what it was. We were going to be talking about some nostalgia and going down the routes of talking about old classic cartoons we used to watch as kids as we were growing up ourselves. Aside from wrestling, of course. But here's the thing: I feel as though that topic should have its own episode.
Yeah, that should be a main topic, full episode discussion. That really should. I agree.
It should.
So yeah, we're not just going to tack on 10 minutes of that at the end. We'll not necessarily next week, but just sometime in the future, we'll have a whole show dedicated to that. Definitely.
Pretty much.
Next week we're going to have like all out of Survivor Series, aren't we? So.
Yes, and the build up to Takeover War Games, I would imagine.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, but the good news is, as much as we normally say we're going to be cutting down on WWE, on WWE talk, I will say NXT lately been going great, but that's all I'm going to be saying in regards to that. Right. As with all of that, I think that's going to be a wrap up for in regards to the topics this week. Would you both agree?
Aside from just a quick thing to reiterate,
anything you want to mention?
Aside from just a quick thing to reiterate that all the social media platforms of The Burning Truth are open, we probably will have to do a part 2 for this topic. So if you want to get in touch with why did you include that, or I can't believe you didn't include that, and contribute yourselves, the listeners, please do.
Please do. We highly recommend it because we always have an ear open, and if there is anything that we've missed off or anything, let us know.
Let us know. But yeah, so there will probably be a part 2 somewhere down the line. So if you want to be a part of that, you know what to do.
Pretty much. But anyway, with all that being said, shall we jump onto the plugs?
That's pretty much a wrap. So plug away, Mr. Burns.
Excellent. But anyway, we recommend you check out UKWA for photography needs, Tony Knox, Jessica Server Photography, Kerry Swift Photography, and videography needs, BA Productions, SW Video, and we recommend you check out charitable organisations like Changes for Health and Wellbeing, Changes Recovery Radio, Mind, Messy for Mind, Donna Louise, Hospice Care for Children and Young People, Cancer Research UK. We of course also recommend you check out the lighter side of professional wrestling, be it either Botchamania, WrestleCraft, and OSW Review. You're welcome, Matthew. You're welcome, RD Reynolds, and of course OSW Lads. We of course also recommend you check out fellow podcasters, broadcasters, be it either Pull or Pass Radio Show, any of them hosted by any podcast broadcast hosted by Magic Mark Adams. We're the Independent, that's with an IE, not a Y. Think Wrestling, especially the Talk Wrestling interviews and etc. Train Pop Culture, Hatred Theory, and all of the above. We of course also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music, as they do absolutely amazing custom-made music and custom entrance videos as well. If you want to know how good they are, they do the theme music for The Burning Truth. And of course, we also recommend you check out Powered for TV, where there is always wrestling content being included on there, be it either podcasts and everything. Who knows? They could end up having they're always building up and getting more on there. We of course also recommend you to check out your local wrestling promotions, be it either Future Championship Wrestling, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling for You, Future Shock Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Fallen Star Wrestling, Venom Wrestling Federation, Slam Wrestling, Wolfen Pro Wrestling, the Barracks Wrestling Academy, and many, many others and more. In case if I've missed any, there's an app that you can get for free on your phone, be it called Babyface Wrestling app, where you can follow any wrestling company that you're interested in and wrestlers, of course.
Small plug, that does include Matt Burns.
And UKWA. Yes, I know, it's a self-plug. Can you blame me?
I was trying to do it for you, but yeah, go for it. No, of course we can't blame you.
Of course. And of course, they also have some blog stuff on there. And check out our website, which is, as we've always stated, www.theburningtruthuk.com, where you know what's on there. We've got the current episodes, be it either past reviews that we've done in the past when we've been attending shows. Unfortunately, that's on hold at the moment. We have, of course, also going to be having our usual blog. We're going to be having our predictions and much, much more. However, we will just state any external links that are on the links webpage, we cannot be held responsible as we do not have any control over external websites. We, of course, have our social media, be it that we are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and, of course, if you're wanting to listen to any of the past episodes, we have the website, we have Spreaker, we have Spotify, we have iTunes, we have Google Podcasts, not to sound like our crowd this week, Deezer, and of course we are also on Amazon Music as well, and many, many other sources as well. And that's the plugs done.
Beautiful.
So, of course, but last but not least, this week is going to be our usual mental health message, which is, listen, don't ever be afraid to state that you are not okay. Because being not okay is okay, but don't ever be afraid to ask for any help. Because you know, just by reaching out, you could end up finding out you've got more care, more love for you from, be it either from a family member, a colleague, or even, hell, you never even know, even just a regular random person.
Yes.
And anything else either one of you want to add on?
What's that quote from the Cultaholic guy?
Right, that would be, you know, never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. Tom Campbell, who I will say, absolute great guy, and someone who I actually know personally myself. I've been friends with him for many, many years. Highly recommend you follow that quote. And of course, make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary. And if you can be anything in this world, especially right now, please be more kind.
Indeed.
Anything you want to add on, Irvine?
Yeah, let's add on. We're all here for you, even at the burning truth.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Drop us a message, drop us a line if there's anything that you'd like us to discuss, whether it be regarding to mental health or anything else going on in the world.
Yeah, even if you just want to say, how you doing?
Yeah.
Colt Cabana.
Or if you just want to say, stop talking bollocks.
Very unlikely that we'll actually heed that one, but, you know, you're welcome to say it. You're absolutely welcome to say it nonetheless.
You're entitled to your opinion. If you want to tell us to stop talking crap, you're more than welcome to. But if even if you telling us to stop talking crap helps make your day, don't hesitate.
Absolutely.
And
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah. And with that, you know, generally we've I will say it's been an interesting episode this week where we've just been talking about promos and nothing currently topic usually this week.
Oh yeah.
None of the usual topics.
No.
Yeah.
But sometimes a reset helps, which ties in neatly to the whole mental health message, I think. So yeah, that's quite cool. That it does.
So with all that, I'm always going to be telling everyone to, always just reach out and, check out your local wrestling promotions. And, of course, also reach out to family members who you may not have spoken to, family members, friends, or even colleagues you haven't spoken to in a long while. Just send out a message, send out a call. Just by getting in touch with them can end up proving vastly helpful and end up making their day. Hal, if someone tried to call you, couldn't get in touch with them right there and then, give them a call back. They might be reaching out. For a reason, or they might just be trying to reach out to see how you are.
Indeed.
But anyway, pretty much. And with that, that's going to be a wrap up for this week's episode of The Burning Truth. So with that, I hope you all stay well, stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you at the next episode. But until then. It has been emotional. I've been Matt Burns.
I've been John Bloor.
I've been James Irvine.
And this has been The Burning Truth.
Thank you, and until next week, catch you later.
Ta-ta now. Bye-bye then.
Ta.